Globallast program. It's an international program. The IMO is the International Maritime Organization in London. It's a branch of the United Nations that take care on maritime problems in the ships. Not only ballast water, but hull fouling, also the security of the people, to save the life of them, what they have to use, the pollution with the use of fuel. They are releasing CO2 and the other things. They take care all kinds of pollution caused by the ships. Then IMO is the international organization that take care specifically also on ballast water or control of the invasive species. The Globallast program used Brazil in the first phase as one of the 6 pilot countries to learn how to apply the international convention that in that time was being prepared, written. The JEF gave the money, and the UNDP is involved also to coordinate this international program. Besides Brazil, that used the Sepetiba port, now it's called Itaguaí port, as the demonstration site, the pilot port. And Brazil should, I would say, to develop a kind of collaboration cooperation between the countries of South America, Caribbean, Central America also. This was the idea at the beginning. This is very difficult because the money was enough only for the demonstration site, Sepetiba. But the cooperation, regional cooperation, was not well developed in this phase of the program. But we had some meetings with many countries, I think 1 or 2 times. Africa, South Africa was the other country, China, India, Iran, and Ukraine. IMO in London, UNDP, JEF in US. The idea was to have a demonstration site to develop a regional cooperation in the area here in Africa, in Middle East, and all this South Asia, China with Southeast Asia, and Ukraine in Europe, or East Europe. With this program, we should learn and develop a baseline survey to know what we have as species in the port area. Not only the native, but mainly the exotic species that already are presented, mainly the invasive species, but also what we call as species that we don't know if they are exotic or native, the cryptogenic species. Then the Globallast program developed a specific methodology to study the biological baseline, what we have, and the methodology should give more importance to detect the invasive species that initially are very rare. It's not the most evident ones, but if we have to detect the rare species that are not very evident, then we should a specific methodology giving more attention in the places of the port region where should it be more probable to find the exotic species. It is easy to imagine the places close to where the ship, the ballast, the water, are the most probable. If you have currents to taking the water to some points of the region, there is more probable to have exotic species. Then this is the kind of thinking that is behind this methodology, to detect the rare species that could be brought by this place by ballast water. Risk assessment is another aspect that we must consider, mainly comparing the similarity of the environment. Not only salinity, that's very important, but the temperature between the ports. The ports that are giving the water, the ports that are receiving the water. If you do an analysis of the environment, you could realize that the probability to have a species from this port is very high because the environmental conditions are very similar. Then this is the basis of a risk assessment. And this is used also in the international law, the convention on ballast water. This is used also as a type of control, risk assessment control. Awareness is something that we know that is very, very important to teach, to explain, to show, not only for the specialists, but for all the population that live in the area, fishermen, people that use the area as tourism, diving, any activity that you have in the area, they must be advised about the problem, and they can help in some way to say that, oh, we have something strange here. Maybe it's an exotic species. Then they can help in some way to the people related to the ship must have this conscience about how if they are collecting water with a kind of a bloom, algae bloom, for example, in a port. If he knows that we have a problem there, if they collected the water and they transport it to another place, they must have the conscience that they are taking something very bad to another place. This is the kind of awareness that this program would like to develop in everywhere related to these activities. And it's very broad. All these stakeholders that they call is a very large population in the port, I would say, or in a country. Then this is something that we should consider and control and prevent an introduction. Teaching people that are involved in this problem to know about what they are doing, not only to help, to say what is different in the environment, but to avoid taking organisms to transport to another place. Not only the ship, The captain must know about that. But all the people that work in the ship and in the port, and we should develop a kind of network between ports to say to the next port of a ship, you must be careful with the ship that's going to you, because here we have a problem in the water. And if the ship goes to you without any procedure to kill what they are taking, you can have problems there. Mainly if you have close to the ports, mariculture production, for example. If you take algae bloom in the ballast tank, can be very dangerous for this activity in the other side.